ordering. Yo gang, what up? Mark here for Urek Mazzano chapter 33 review. We actually got a decent chapter this week, one of the best in the last like 2 months. Really good action-packed stuff, but I'm gonna get right into it. So we start back into the castle where we get the 1v1s going on with Asa versus Macheni, Sinio versus Leo, and of course we have Mago, and then another Khun guy who we get, his name is Sleeman, is waiting in the shadow. It starts with Leo and Asenio going back and forth, you know, trying to figure out who's who, what's going on. And I will say early on, it appears that Asenio and Macheni are at the base bottom ranker level is my assumption. We already had some evidence towards that, like with them being sent on a mission. Normally regulars wouldn't be sent on a mission unless it was like their father who sent them on it. And as regulars, that might have been a thing, but no, they sound like they're base regulars, especially when Macheni talks about during her fight with Asa that if she defeats him, she will get promoted to high ranker immediately. So you can assume that they're probably done climbing. But the fights aren't very close. Leo is basically fending off Asenio. He's not trying too much, but Macheni is absolutely getting diffed by Asa. Now, he's not dominating her how I think he would had he been in his right mind, but she can't touch him and she's taking a lot of damage. So I'm a little disappointed in Macheni's mindset here, and it's showing a bit of greediness and maybe the arrogance of a princess, but she seems to think that she can take Asa even though she knows that he's way stronger than her. And her trump card is Sleeman, who does have a pretty interesting ability, but come on, let's be realistic here. Like, this series so far has been disappointing with some of the matchups because it's just like, well, why does Lapis still think that he can fight Urek? Or Rahab when he got choke slammed? Like, why do you guys think you can take somebody when they're overpowering you? And Macheni is clearly getting overpowered, and I would think she's a little bit smarter, but her 5% chance as a ranker fighting a high ranker, she still thinks she's that. So it was cool to see her use this move called decompression, where it basically looks like releasing her restraints on her lightning ability is what I'm assuming. I like all her abilities. I liked her on the data floor, so we're getting a bit more of that. It's giving me that kind of feel, which is nice. And Asenio's technique was cool with the spear breaking apart and attacking Leo, but again, not sure if he's high ranker. He's at least advanced for sure if I'm comparing him to like a Rahab, and he's deflecting all of Asenio's attacks. So it is basically high to advanced ranker versus like base level ranker. So it's not going to be close. And I would think that, you know, the Khun family is really a smarter family, and I would assume they would try to escape first, especially since they discovered that Asa's the floor ruler. He's got to be high ranker. He's the floor ruler, so why not prioritize escaping? They tried this plan where Macheni's gonna, you know, keep distracting Asa since he isn't in his mind, and Sleeman's spear ability seems to be invisible but can attack slowly, which is cool. Great assassin type ability, and it eventually does work. However, they completely ignored Mago here, who just refers as everything, and the Khun family is basically wiped out. So Urek rescue mission for Macheni, absolutely positively a thing. This also could now involve Edwin in a way if you think about it, because if he's the one who sent them here and they don't respond, or maybe he can like read whether they're hurt or not, he could pop up because, you know, these are his, you know, precious 2 kids right here. So that's interesting. And we all know that Mago is the name of Edwin's spear. So I ain't gonna lie, it's getting closer to possibilities happening here, but nothing set in stone, of course. I'm just throwing things out there. But at the end, we get Urek finishing up the fisherman test with no problem, of course. And then he's discussing with a few people, including Pobida and Lu, and he's going to explain who Lu is. I'm assuming he's going to do that next chapter, but he's telling them that everything is complete, but the last test is going to be the most difficult because I know these people. I know Mago. Leave her alone. Just let me handle everything. And that's how the chapter ends. So chapter is pretty entertaining, at least from a fighting standpoint, you know, getting to see the Khun family, you know, battle even though they lost. So I give this chapter about a 6.5 out of 10. A little bit better than last week's. I don't think I'm going to stream this week either, guys. I'm just not feeling the story enough for that right now. So sorry about that, but peace, and I'll see you soon.